Hello, everybody. Welcome back into my channel. This is Roxanne. My name's Roxanne, and welcome into Alchemy of Acrimony. And so I just recently recorded a separate live, and so if you want, check that out. That was a lot about, just the whole dating scene and online and the people that we meet. And that was kind of crazy. There was a lot of craziness in that read as far as like the stuff that people do, right? What they say when they meet you and the double lives that they live, stuff that you don't know. Okay, so I wanted to just give you as many different little reads as I can. So I'm going to try to keep these reads a little bit short and more simple and to the point for you. I don't want to keep you on too long. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with angel cards. So all of these little lives, whatever I can, whatever content I can give to you today, whatever and however many reads I can give. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guys. I'm going to give, but I'm just going to break them down and make them a little bit shorter, just to try to give you more reads to look at, to see what resonates with all of you, because everybody's got different stories out there, right? Everybody's going through different things right now. Okay, there goes one. That was a jumper. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. And I have my glasses. Usually for those of you you know, I always struggle with that. I end up not being prepared and I don't have my glasses. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, so these are what the cards look like, right? When you flip them. But this came in the deck, and I always keep this card in there because sometimes I feel like, I don't know, this is the way it came, and it's a reminder, okay? And so it's not so much an angel number, it's a reminder, right? And sometimes I feel we need to hear these things. So I keep it in the deck instead of pulling it out and not using it, right? So right here it's they gave it a little extra card as a reminder, right? That angel whispers are the guidance that's always within you. Your ability to find the answer that's needed is your innate superpower. In this moment, close your eyes and ask, what's my next right move? Place your trust in the first answer you receive, as your higher self is always connected to what is best for you. And then at the bottom, it says trust. Okay, so this right here will probably be for the overall read, because it's saying right here, in this moment, close your eyes and ask, what is my next right move? So this is telling me right now, Spirit is saying for some of you, maybe you have a lingering question, right? And the question is, what is my next right move? Where do I go from here? And that could be a wide array of questions. And for each of you, that's going to look different. So whatever the question is, as far as like, what is my next right move? That could be with anything. That's what I'm talking about. It's a wide array of different things within that question, right? That you could be, it's what is my next right move for, should I jump out of this job and go to that job? Should I start looking for a different job? Should I stay with my person or should I leave? Should I, the list goes on and on. So you take this wherever you see fit and wherever it resonates for you. So if you are, there's somebody out there, because this, of course, there's a reason why this popped out. What is my next right move? It says, place your trust in the first answer you receive, as your higher self's always connected to what's best for you. And then just place trust in that. So let's see what that could possibly be. Now, sometimes, when I look at this card, if I'm asking myself that question, where do I go from here? Right? What should I do? What's my next right move? Sometimes, honestly, it's saying right here to place your trust in the first thought you have. Sometimes we have conflicting thoughts. No, that's all the time. A lot of the times. The majority of the time with me, I have conflicting thoughts and I really don't know what to do. That's why I ask for the guidance, right? So whoever whatever faith you put your trust in, or whatever you believe in. That looks different for everybody. But you're asking because you need that extra guidance, right? Because you don't know. You're having two different thoughts going to your mind's pulling you one way and the other. Because when you think about the answer, it's saying to place your trust in what your first thought is. But sometimes when my first thought is two different things combined, I'll say yes and no. I'll say sometimes do that thing, and then I'm like, no, do that thing. And it's constantly a confliction, right? It's an inner conflict all the time. And so this is why I ask my guides personally, help lead me, help guide me into that next move, because I really don't know for the life of me. And I keep, thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And it seems the more I think, the more I get lost in thought, and the more my brain really shuffles and struggles to find that right answer. So for you, those of you that are in that mindset where you're struggling, right, to find the right answer, I'm going to give you spirit message, right? We're going to see if we can help guide you toward that answer, okay? We'll see where the guidance is with that, and where maybe you're being led to go. What is this right move for you? Okay, thank you, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, most high God. Tell me, what is my next right move for my collective? The question that they're asking in their mind, whatever they're struggling with to understand and to find one answer and go with that. What is their next right move for my collective, please? What is their next right move? This, for some reason, my fingers wanted to grasp that. Okay. So right here, first one that popped out, no matter how much you're being tested or pushed right now, stand your ground and push back. Believe in your own integrity and self-worth so much that no one can get in your way. Have the confidence to move forward. You can and will do this. Okay, number 2. If you think you are alone, you're not. We are beside you in all challenges that you faced. Trust, there's that word trust again, that outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome of every situation. We have your best interests at heart. We love you. I don't know if some of you are speaking to a passed on loved one, or you're speaking to your guides, your ancestors, your angels. You're praying about stuff. I'm grabbing the deck again because my hands literally just gravitated to it. And so whenever that happens with me, hold on one quick sec. I have to, sorry, I had to reach down and get the card because it flipped right on the floor. Whenever that happens to me, I have to listen to my movements in my body because they're being guided to certain things for a reason. And so, yeah. So this one that fell on the floor, keep moving forward, even if you even if you are unsure of your next step. Okay. That's pretty much your question was, what is my next right move, right? What's your next steps? Where's your next path going to lead you? Do I do right or to the left? Which way do I go? So keep moving forward, even if you're unsure of your next step or where it may take you. Trust, there's that word trust again, that you're walking the path. I was just talking about that right now, saying right or the left. Do I take the right or the left? Trust that you are walking the path you are meant to walk. Remember, we are walking it with you. Trust yourself more. Place your trust in the first answer you receive. Your higher self is always connected to what's best for you. So whatever you're being led to do, it's just saying to keep continuing to have trust in moving forward. And I know that's still not giving you a clear answer, right? Because you're like, well, where is my forward, to the right or to the left? So I'm reading these again. No matter how much you're being, these are very similar in what they're saying. This right here, no matter how much you're being tested or pushed, stand your ground and push back. Believe in your own integrity and self-worth so much that no one can get in your way. If you feel you're being guided down a specific path, that you're being pushed back to go that way, in that direction, and it's making you double question yourself or double think and rethink, when we go back and rethink, we get more confused, right? Because we got other people around us telling us no or trying to stop, right? The direction. Depending on what this is for you, it says even if you, no matter how much you're being tested, stand your ground and push back. Believe in your own integrity and self-worth, that no one can get in your way. Have the confidence to move forward. So all these cards keep saying to move forward, and that you're not alone, and that we are beside you in your challenges. Challenges, tested. This is something that you're going through where you're being challenged or tested. It's like a moment of, you're going to have a moment of ultimate clarity. That's what I'm getting a download right now. There's going to be some type of moment, a ultimate clarity for you on something. And this is going to help you steer which way forward that looks like for you. All the testing and challenges that you're facing right now, whatever that is, that looks different for all of you. And so the ultimate question is, through all of these challenges and tests that I'm being faced with, where do I go? What's my next move? But if you feel like you're pushing towards one way more than the other, then that would be your answer. Because if you're really trying to break through to go in one way, and maybe other people are in opposition of you, or maybe don't really believe in what your vision is or what you're trying to do or achieve or accomplish, sometimes it's not about what everybody else sees of you or thinks that you should do. Because at the end of the day, it's your life and you're living it. And you got to live with the options and choices that you have and the choices you decide to take with those options, right? You're the one taking care of you, and you're the one that has to deal with any type of outcome or any type of uh what's that word I'm looking for? I guess I'm not meant to say it because my brain is really just drew a blank on that word. But the point is, you have to, you're the one that deals with any outcomes, right? Of your final decisions. So whatever that looks like for you, if you feel that you're in opposition by other people, sometimes when we ask other people what we should do, and not so much being guided spiritually or led spiritually, however that looks like for you, whatever you personally believe in, when we start looking at the world for answers, it's going to confuse us, or it's going to give us a lot of different options and things that everybody else wants. Because why? It's everybody's else's own personal opinion. And in so moments like this, we have to really sit and go within ourselves to take that time to reflect on each and every detail of our lives and map out what the outcome could be if we went to the right or to the left. We kind of have to just sit with ourselves and say, okay, if I chose this, what would be the outcome? What would that look like? And so sometimes we can gather more information that way when we just go within ourselves and think about things, and then just shut out the world and what they have to say, because that's going to be a lot of confusion, right? A lot of confusion. consequences. I knew that word started with a C. I just couldn't get it in my brain. Consequences. So whatever outcome you go with, there's always a consequence to every outcome. You know, so there's always a consequence we have to face when we say, okay, I'm going to do this, and with that, there's going to be a consequence to that. What consequences lie with that? Is there negative ones that lie with whatever decision this is if you choose one way versus the other? Wherever you think the negative consequences lie with more, if you decide to go one route versus the other. I think that for the majority of us, if this is a question of conscious, I don't know, I'm getting that in my brain. Is there maybe your mind may feel guilty for something if you decide to do something? And so your conscious won't let you be by picking that option and going with that choice. If you're having a guilty conscience about something, then maybe that's something that you really need to rethink and look at the consequences of that action if you go against. Maybe the guilty conscience is what's pushing you back, because in this card it talked about no matter how much you're being tested or pushed, stand your ground and push back. Believe in your own integrity. So maybe your guilty conscience is pushing you back and you're being tested. Maybe your guilty conscience is saying your subconscious, what's locked away deep in there, which is the true answer, right? That's where it lies. And it's not allowing you because it's saying you have more integrity than this. Let me pull from my mystical healing oracle. I really feel called. I feel like this is a matter of integrity, and this is a question of your conscious not letting you move forward because it feels guilty, and the subconscious is what carries the true answer for you, right? And so we really need to go within and reflect and really try to understand what our minds are truly guiding us to do. And our minds, our subconscious, when we start to link it with our higher self, we tend to make better decisions for ourselves. Thank you, Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Thank you so much for the message that we're about to receive. So let me just in case I need to refer, let me keep moving forward. Okay, so these are the three, right? And so when I picked up the extra, it said sit in silence for a moment and listen. The answers you have been seeking are finally coming to you. Truly trust and believe that you're going to make it and be exactly where you need to be. We are on this journey with you. Hang in there. It's not much longer. Sitting within yourself, going within. I see two tarot in my mind right now. I'm seeing the Hangman and the Hermit. The Hangman and the Hermit. And if you are not familiar with tarot and you don't know what that means, I suggest that you research both meanings to both those cards, the Hangman and the Hermit. And for those of you that know, you know if you are familiar with tarot and you know what the Hangman and the Hermit is taking that time to go within, sitting in silence, sitting with yourself to gain that higher consciousness, right? That higher awareness of yourself that's trying to come out. Thank you so much, Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. I'm going to sit a little bit closer sorry if I'm too close up, but it's because I have a gap right here on my lap and the table, and I don't want these cards falling on the floor. Okay. I'm feeling drawn to pull this way. Okay. The bottom of the, well, let me just show you. The bottom of the deck is saying it again. There's a glare, sorry. It's right here. You have support. So whatever this is, you have support, okay? And it's again right there. So if you're, if you, whatever you believe in, it's telling you your guides are right there. You have support. Okay, so this is the first one that popped out. And so, well, I'll let you take a look at that. And it is take positive action. Number 32, take positive. So she's sitting with herself. She's alone. Just sitting with herself. Taking that time, right? She's taking a bath. My mind got a download of a spiritual cleanse. Maybe some of you need to bathe in some Epsom salt, some type of like a salt bath. Water alone is very cleansing. Water is also another healing property to cleanse you. Okay, so when we're taking a shower, we're in a bath. There's other healing properties that you can add into your bath water. So if you want, you could go online and further research that. Maybe you need a cleansing so you can come into like you're washing away all the negative energy, right? You're just trying to get yourself on a more stable ground with a cleanse, and then you're able to like think more clearly, and then just it's like hitting the reset button, right? And we're starting fresh here, and then really go in, right? Go with yourself, within yourself. Take the time to just sit in silence, like the card was saying. Sit in silence, right? And just take a moment to be alone with yourself. Hermit card, Hangman. And so the next one was contemplate. Sorry, I have to look at it. Contemplate death and beyond. Contemplating is when we're taking that time to think, contemplating on this or that, like contemplating. We're really taking the time to think about things, right? We're shuffling the ideas around in our mind, and we're really going deep within each idea or each decision or each option that we're trying to understand which way to take, right? And we're contemplating both things, right? And so we're going to look at the book right now, and we're going to see what's going on with these messages. So the first one, take positive action, number 32. So we're going to look at that. Take positive action. Stop procrastinating and delaying what needs to be done. If you take steps forward now, you will create potent momentum where many new possibilities you haven't yet considered will show up. If you hold back, you will open the doors to old, fearful habits, which will make you doubt what you're doing. Okay, and says your will is the most underdeveloped aspect of you and requires conscious effort from you in order to progress. This action may require you to study something you've tried to avoid or have been holding off on on completing. You may need to pay, maybe you're holding off on contemplating this. Maybe you don't want to sit and really think about things, because the more you do, maybe the guilty conscience just screams louder at you, and it's really calling you to do something maybe you don't want to, but the right thing to do is a different story for you. And so maybe, there's a lot of times we face things where we don't want to do it, but we know we have to. And so maybe that's something that is why you don't want to sit and contemplate, because it's your brain, your mind is almost screaming at you to say no. That would be, you know what the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to do this, but it's hard for you, right? Okay, so it says you may need to pay attention to your emotional, mental, or physical health and make time to see an appropriate practitioner or commit to a powerful detox protocol. And it go and on detox protocol, and right away when I seen detox, I thought of the spiritual bath, cleansing, however that looks like for you, however way you cleanse. Right here, though, it's really, I don't know, maybe some of you need to sit in bath water and cleanse with water. You may have been putting off doing paperwork and taking responsibility for your finances, making important changes in your business, which is costing you time and money, or your action could be to help someone who's in need, whether it is a homeless person, someone who is unwell, or someone who is lonely and needs company. The most important thing is to stop putting things off, things that need urgent attention, and engage your will. Action, and that's what this is going to help you, right? To find that answer. So take a pen and paper and courageously write down in what area of your life you need to take urgent, massive action. Place your hands on your sacral, which is right here around your belly button, right? So right over your belly button and a little bit below, that's your sacral. So place your hands on your sacral and imagine yourself taking steps towards change. It's all about taking those steps, right? Then take immediate action. All right, so take all of that, how this is resonating for you when it comes to your question of what is my next right move? It all boils down to this card, right? And the question on this card. So we got contemplate death and beyond, number 6. So we're going to take it back to number 6. Here we go. And so number 6, contemplate death and beyond. To live fully, you need to understand death. Every moment of every day, there are aspects of you that are dying and transforming. This card offers an opportunity to consciously reflect on the process of death. Have you ever taken the time to truly contemplate what happens when you die? What aspects of your soul continue with you and what aspects stay behind and dissolve? Until you ask powerful questions about life after death, it's almost impossible to know what you need to work on and thus how to live consciously. There's that word again. Something with your conscious, guilty conscience, what's in your subconscious, bringing it to the conscious, bringing it out into your reality by taking the steps and the actions that you have to. Through understanding death, we learn the secret of life. You're about to go through a major cleansing process. That's crazy. You're about to go through a major cleansing process where many of your materialistic ambitions will start to fall away while your spiritual aspirations will become aroused. So this may be about your spiritual journey and maybe the battle within you to maybe in one direction or the other when it comes to maybe your beliefs, maybe they're changing. Maybe you're feeling guided to start some type of a spiritual journey that's going to lead you down a different path. And maybe, I don't know, for some of you, the guilty conscience could be, the fact that maybe you grew up a certain way and you have family or friends or whoever, take it how it resonates, that you grew up with in another way religiously. Maybe it's that. I don't know. Maybe it's about that. People that are really huge influences in your life, and maybe you're finding it hard to leave that behind, and maybe you're transforming into a higher, more of your calling, and maybe there's guilt in your mind for leaving something behind when it comes to the old way of thinking or doing things or what your beliefs are. I don't know. Maybe this could be about some type of a spiritual calling that you're trying to follow. So it says, Through this process, your fears of death have the possibility to transform into awe of the higher worlds. You're being also you're also being asked to start looking at any of your destructive habits and behaviors and make positive changes to your health and inner well-being. Ignoring this message could have serious consequences in your life. If you have had close family members or friends who have passed over, it's important you send them loving thoughts and feelings. Action. Start learning and exploring the possibilities of life after death and thinking about multiple earth lives. Everything you do now will have an impact on how you experience the process of death, rebirth, and your next life. Go back through your life and determine at which times you have acted in a regressive, harmful way. Is there anything you can do now to balance this? In other words, write down what good you can do for others and start to act in a more loving, generous, compassionate way. So maybe for some of you, what this is saying is really going more into the spiritual aspects of yourself and to start to think about things when it comes to maybe the decisions you're making, maybe maybe if it is destructive habits, maybe you're starting to lean in more to like maybe pulling away from those, and or you should be pulling away from those. Maybe it's, what direction do I take? Do I continue on living this kind of life or that kind of life? And with that life comes those destructive habits, and maybe digging deeper into the spiritual aspect of what happens when we're, trying to pull ourselves out of bad habits or destructive ways. And so maybe, I don't know, a spiritual journey is something that you're feeling led or guided to do. And maybe, I don't know, there's just a side of you that maybe some people won't agree with a certain way that you're taking steps to get rid of destructive habits. Maybe you're leaning more into something, your curiosity has grabbed you, and your spiritual side is grabbing you into looking into different aspects of things when it comes to spirituality. Maybe I don't know, walking down some type of a different path that looks different for everybody else around you. And maybe that's making you feel guilty for, doing something different, but you're trying to make the right decision to go with that, to try to get rid of any destructive habits that you do have. Maybe you're looking at, is it time to change? And with that, my change will sometimes change. When we start to change, it bothers a lot of people. It makes people feel uncomfortable when you decide to do something good for yourself. When you stop, when you start to see life in a different way and you're starting to transform, and maybe this is where you're at in life, where you're starting to look at things right in a different way and you're going through a different phase. And so it's calling you and urging you to like look more deeper into the spiritual aspects of things for yourself and whatever beliefs that you're leaning into. And so when that happens, people around us find that very hard to grasp, right? And then they start kind of telling you what you need to do or believe in, or maybe they don't really understand what your beliefs are or what you're leaning towards and what you're trying to do. And when it comes down to that, that's when I'm saying the hermit and the hangman, you got to really sit alone and be with yourself and cleanse away the outside thoughts of the world and whatever opinions those things bring you, because it just brings more confusion, and then it makes you feel guilty for, deciding that you want to start changing or doing something different with yourself. Because like I said, people get really bothered when you decide that you want to change for the better, or when you start making little changes and people around you start noticing that. They're not used to that, and so their change bother your change bothers them. It's they don't like to see that. They want to continue to see, the old version of you, because that's what they're used to. And so I don't know, I'm feeling led that maybe some of you, maybe your friends or whatever, maybe are starting to make fun of you because maybe of certain things, that beliefs that you're holding on to, or maybe certain ways you're trying to change your life. Like, no, I'm not going to do that today. Maybe they want to hang out and go do something, and you already know, like, that's going to be destructive. I'm just going to stay away from that. And so maybe you're trying to go within Maybe you're trying to separate yourself and you're being laughed at a lot, like, "Oh, this guy doesn't wanna do anything," or this girl, or she doesn't wanna do anything, she just wants to do this or that, like, she's being weird. Oh, she wants to, go here and, go, you know, do a spiritual journey, or she wants to just, or I haven't heard from her, she's acting really weird, or him. Maybe it's, people around you, they're nitpicking at you like that, and it's putting you in between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes we get to thinking so much for other people and not ourselves. We get to feeling so much that we don't want to disappoint everybody around us, right? So we're not doing what we truly desire and what we want to do because we're too busy trying to appease everyone else. But the ultimate thing you need to take away from this is it's not about what everyone else wants. It's what's best for you and what you want. So whatever this next move is for you that you're asking, and it has to do with spirituality and your journey and changing for the better, maybe, this is just, I don't know, take all of this how it resonates. But if that's you, the bottom of the deck, it's saying you have support. And so I'm going to leave you all with this card. You have support, okay? And so this is card number 36. So let's read that for you. It says, you're receiving more help from the heavenly host than you can imagine. Your role is to assist the higher beings to help you by consciously, there's that word again, consciously participating in your own inner development. Let's read that again and let's process that. And for those of you, I know these are long messages. Feel free to go back into this video to rewind, pause, and take in each bit of information that I'm relaying to you so you can process it more. Your role is to assist the higher beings to help you by consciously participating in your own inner development. From the moment that you wake up till the time you enter sleep, you're either strengthening your ability to receive assistance and regeneration from the higher beings, or you're weakening it. The way to allow more, I'm feeling like a pain, like a muscle strain right here on my right side, on my where your shoulder bone is, but that muscle that's over it, right underneath your shoulder. It's kind of like that tense where it's tensing. So maybe some of you are experiencing a lot of stress from this and you're getting a lot of tension around these muscles in your body, specifically the right side. I'm feeling a muscle tension, like like a stiffening. Maybe you're experiencing a lot of strain and tension in your shoulders and your muscles in your back because of the amount of stress maybe that you feel you're being put under. It says the way to allow more enlivening support to enter into your life is to start the day with a powerful meditative practice. Maybe this will help relieve the tension in your shoulders and in your back. Okay? It says, start with the powerful meditative practice which connects you to your spirit. Focus on seeing the beauty around you and offer help to those who are open to it. Consume organic food and drink. Listen to your inner cycles and make decisions that honor them. Spend time away from technology. Wherever you can, go into nature and meditate on the spiritual wisdom concealed in it. I'm seeing the Virgo, the Virgo. Maybe some of you are a Virgo, you have Virgo in your chart. Maybe some of you are earth signs here that I'm speaking to. I'm feeling pain now shooting down the right side of my thigh. It's more tightening of the muscles and like a pain just shooting down from the side thigh all the way above my knee bone. So maybe some of you, the right side, you've been experiencing pain in your right side. I feel like going out into nature, meditating, and really going within, becoming the hermit. Saying Virgo like that, maybe this is for a Virgo. Maybe Virgo is earth. It's part of the earth signs, and this is talking about earth elements. So maybe in order to relieve a lot of this body pain, the tension and the tightening of the muscles that you're feeling, it's telling you to go and take those walks and go into nature and meditate and really sit within, go within yourself, be um for those of you that are familiar with the tarot, the hermit card, to go in and seek that inner wisdom, right? And it says right here, wherever you can, wherever you, whenever you can, go into nature and meditate on the spiritual wisdom concealed in it. Be kind to yourself. Listen to music that heals. That can be sound frequency. For those of you that don't know what that is, you can go ahead and look it up. There's a lot of sound frequency on YouTube. Okay, that puts out, there's a lot of channels that specifically are healing sound frequencies for the body, and they heal specific things, right? At different frequencies, different sounds heal different parts of the body. You might want to look at healing sound frequencies for muscle tension in your body. So specifically the right side, I'm feeling the right side just really light up with a lot of muscle tension. Um that calms your soul, right? Listen to music that heals and calms your soul. Start learning about the laws of karma and higher worlds. Give yourself time for any type of artistic or creative endeavors. As you start to live more in harmony with yourself, you will find that support flows to you from every area of your life, okay? Taking it back to, you have support. You have support. You're going to be guided through this, okay? Action, write down in what areas of your life. This is more writing, right? This is asking you to write more, go deep with. So maybe some of you, you're being prompted to journal, okay? So write down in what areas of life that you need extra support. Then next to this, write down what you can do to support yourself more. Make time to do the things that will make you grow. Kindly share with others what would be helpful to you. Whenever possible, also offer kindness and assistance to others. It keeps talking about offering assistance to others and being kind to others. So maybe some of you are out there wanting to go into more of a humanitarian type of endeavors. Maybe you're really feel called and guided to, instead of spending time doing something with friends that are not very beneficial to your soul, or really what your higher conscious is calling you to do. Maybe your life's purpose, or maybe your spiritual path and new journey is to, um, I want to say, to go out with the homeless and be uh, your time, being generous, using your time with them, and I don't know, going out there and just doing humanitarian or feeding them, supporting them in whatever way you see fit, or really going out into nature and spending time doing those things instead of other things that, you know, doing, more time for your inner growth versus going out and doing other destructive things with your body and your time and with other friends and things that, maybe you're not being called and guided towards that anymore. Maybe the guilt is the fact that you have to, in order to do what your higher conscious is calling you to do, maybe the lower conscious of your mind is telling you, like, uh you're not spending time with your friends, and wow, you should feel guilty for that, because these were the guys that were always there for you, or these were the girls that you were around growing up. And maybe it's something like that bothering you, and it's making you have a guilty conscience, or making you, or it could be family members telling you, oh, why are you going to be doing that? That's weird. Why do you want to go and, feed people and do this and do that? Like, or why do you want to go? And I don't know, it could be just take this how it resonates. Okay. And so it says, kindly share with others what's helpful to you. What would be helpful to you? Whenever possible, show kindness and assistance to others. So this is all about, maybe you're being led for a journey to 4411, as I'm telling you this. So 44 and 11, 44, 11. 11 is a master number. 44 is a spiritual number. 44, you might want to look up 44 and 11, okay? And so, or maybe all together, 44, 11. So break each one of those down. 4, 4, the number 4, 44, 11, and 44, 11, and see what those spiritual numbers mean for you. See what those angel numbers are calling you. Maybe there's more further answers and guidance into your path of which way you should take. Okay. It says, before going to sleep, Reflect on your day and acknowledge the areas of your life where you've been assisted and the areas of service where you can do better. And so maybe some of you are really being called and guided into areas of service. Like I said, humanitarian work, right? Going out there and really being called to help other people and whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you're being guided into doing that. And that's really beautiful work. And so maybe too, like, you know, just feeling, like I said, bad for everybody else's feelings. Maybe sometimes we need to separate ourselves from everyone else for a while to really just go with our own true feelings and what we're feeling. Maybe you're the type of person, and this is why humanitarian work is something maybe you feel led and called to do, is because you're really, you feel that guilt in you for other people because you're really a people person. And when you friend hard. I really feel like the need to tell you, maybe the kind of person you are, who I'm describing, you're the type of friend that loves hard and friends 100. And so this is taking it, a Taurus could be like that too. Earth signs are like that, where we're very lovable and vulnerable in that department, where you love hard. When you commit 100. When you're with your friends, maybe you have a lot of friends. And even if you don't, maybe the friends that you do have, you give 100% to the friendships. You give your all. You're the person that they call when they need help. You're the person that shows up. You're the person that's there. You're the person they can rely on. You're the person that always, gives your all. Oh, you need help? I'm there. Oh, I got your back. I'm there. Maybe you're that type of person. And so for you, it's really hard because you want to please everybody. That's some earth signs, tend to be like that, where we want to really please everybody. And so the humanitarian part makes sense. You're offering your assistance and your guidance towards other people is where you find your peace, where you find your comfort. It's almost like home to you, right? You're really feeling led down that journey of doing that. And so for those of you that are just, really, it's okay to take time and go within and sit with yourself and really reflect. I feel guided for the tarot. Really quick, let me just give you a last message. So we'll pull one card just to make, that's if Spirit wants to pull one card. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, Ancestors. Thank you so much. Okay, so splitting the deck just right there. So for those of you that know, the Four Swords, taking time, going within, stagnancy, being still. You're not forcing any movement of outside distractions from the world and your regular everyday and the friends and the things that they want to do. You're taking time within yourself and going within. That's a bit of advice. The Knight of Cups, taking action. He's offering his cup of emotion, but he's being led on a journey with his horse, right? He's being guided into that cup of love. What does that look like for you? What's inside that cup? And what are you being guided in that cup to do? Okay, so that's some of the message right there, right? Okay, thank you. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. Okay, you can't go wrong. Something has to come to an end in order to bring out. Oh, I forgot. Something has to come to an end in order to bring. This is double major arcana that flipped out right when I was shuffling the Lovers and the World. The World is all about transformation, which is what your healing oracle deck was talking about. Making some type of major transformation in your life, going on this spiritual journey. And then the Lovers, it's going to bring you into, the Lovers can also talk about something that you truly desire. This is something that you are actually going to love to do because it's where your heart really lies at. It's what you want to invest your time into. It's something that it really consumes you in a good way. It's your calling, your higher purpose. I'm seeing the angel with the rays of the sun going down on the wings. It's like raising yourself to a higher consciousness. It's your higher level of you coming into your total fulfillment. of whatever, doing this work, whatever it is that you feel called and led to do. It's your higher being illuminated, your higher self. The world card is all about a completion, transformation. That's the word that I keep flashing in my, it keeps flashing in my brain. Transformation, transformation. Tell them transformation. They're going to go through a huge transformation. And then this is going to be your outcome. You're going to come into doing what you truly, truly love. And that's going to fill up your cup with love. That's where your heart truly lies, with whatever this transformation is. That's awesome. And so with that being said, I think that was clear as day. I'm not going to mess with the deck anymore because that was double arcana coming out right at the beginning of the shuffle. So those were words for you, and I hope that they helped you with the ultimate question of what move do I make next and where do I go. So if that resonated with any of you, that's awesome. So feel free to like this video if you liked it, and feel free to comment on whatever that journey may be for you or what it may look like as far as answering that question of what next move do I make. If you feel led to do so, please subscribe. Don't feel shy to subscribe to my channel if you really like the messages that you're hearing and receiving. And so that would really support me and this channel. So thank you so much for welcoming me into your space and you giving me your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm very thankful and grateful. So join me again on another live stream, and so we will get to talking to see whatever messages come out for you again. So you never know. When I'm being led and guided by my spirits, I guide, I listen, and I show the cards, and whatever way I get downloads, that's what it is. So hopefully this helped some of you out there. If it resonated with you, thank you very much again for allowing me to be in your space and watching my channel. Till next time, I'll see you.